Okay, so this person is talking about being a part of a wedding party. They're part of the wedding party, so probably the bridesmaid, one of the bridesmaids. And this particular couple has decided that they are going to do a really private, small ceremony with a bigger reception for more people. And then they're going to put a big break in the middle of the day. And they're not providing food for their bridal party, their wedding party. And they're also not doing a meal at their reception. They're just having some late night snacks. There's a few things to kind of dive in here. So let's look into this. The first thing I want to say is your wedding party has paid a lot of money to be a part of your wedding. They've taken the day off work. They've bought outfits. They've bought you presents. They have paid for all the things, usually a bachelor or bachelorette party. They've usually bought you a wedding present. There's a lot of things that your wedding party agrees to when they are part of your wedding party. They say, we love you so much, we will do this for you. The very least you could do is provide them with a meal. Now, you do not have to take them out for a steak dinner, but you should at least buy them lunch. I mean, a sandwich from Subway. Have it catered in from somewhere. Go to Costco and get a tray of food. You need to feed them lunch in this particular situation. Next, let's talk about this whole open bar, but just late night bites at the reception. If you are on a budget, it is better that you spend your money on food than a ton of booze. Here's why. If you give people an open bar with unlimited amounts of liquor and alcohol and no food, that is not going to be a very fun reception for you. I cannot tell you the number of times I have had to escort people out who have had a little bit too much to drink on an empty stomach or on a very little food stomach. Particularly the bride and groom, there needs to be food. You need to have food if you have a bar. There should be substantial food. Do you have to have a buffet? No, but you should definitely have some heavy appetizers. And this does not mean that you have to get a caterer. You can bring in those, get some great things from a store, pile them up, have a family caterer or something, but you need to have food because you do not want people vomiting all over your reception. That's not going to be fun. If you need to spend the money on food and not on a bar, look, it doesn't mean you have to have an open, all liquor, open access bar. You can easily do beer and wine or some signature cocktails if you want to cut the cost down. I just did a wedding literally this weekend that only had beer and wine and some champagne. Everybody had a good time and that was great. I understand maybe we don't want to, provide, we don't want to do a dry wedding. I don't recommend that. That's your choice and you are sober and you want to do that for your wedding. Go for it. That's totally up to you and that's your choice. You are honored by that and your friends who know you will respect that. But if you are not sober and you are just trying to save some money, don't skimp on the bar. Have something. Have a beer and wine and then have some food. Please do not have a reception with an open bar and no food or late night snacks. Once the bar opens, there should be food. That's the best way to do that so that you don't end up with a very interesting reception.